Great. This is the last clue of the school year. The last flashing clue of the school year. You know what? It is sad. It is sad. Let's all make a frowny face together.
I'm gonna make a brownie.
What does that look like? We are all very curious, Bob, about what that maybe is over there. Okay, now let's all make a happy face, because Flash and Cool will be back. Start of summer kickoff. This is our second annual Rainbow Rumble. You got to wear all white, and it's sort of similar to a color run. There will be a lot of purple and yellow and red dust in the air. You will look awesome afterwards, so come and take pictures, wear all white. This is on June 17th. School will be out, life will be easy and better, and you gotta come to this thing. So, this is one of the few times of the year for you people in Flash and everybody in Clue where the times are a little different. So, everybody should be here at 6, that's the deal. Be here at 6 p.m. Which, yeah, that's normal. That's normal. Are you making a brownie face because if you get all the colors, then your shirt is brown? Yeah, okay, now it makes sense. Good job. Good job. Awesome, okay. Kurt, I got a question.
Yeah.
What is this referring to?
I have no idea. I'm reaching the end here. Straws, man.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I don't know what this means, but we're using it anyways. Great. Okay, what else we got? Yes, senior high rafting. So here's my hope is that every single high schooler goes on this thing. If you're going on Caravan and you want to fill up your community hours, this gets you half. It's going to be super fun. So I hope everybody 8th grade and up comes on this rafting trip.
Great fun this one.
I pity the fool. I love how much you love me. Grace, do you want to come up here and explain what you think is so funny?
Best, like no one ever was.
Awesome. Great. Just to be clear, for 8th graders, this is the summer of love. You can come to anything. After tonight, you can come to anything. Flash or Clue, super fun. Because I love you, big heart. This is actually what Mr. T's heart looks like, which is why Kurt chose this one. The actual size. To scale. This is it. He's a dude with a big heart. Big heart. All right, what else we got here? Awesome. So if you are a senior in high school, come and eat some tasty food with me on June 9th. Make sure you RSVP, and if you filled out a time capsule, this is what's so fun for you 8th graders, that 4 years after you fill out that time capsule, we keep it in a nuclear-safe vault deep in the mountains of Colorado for 4 years, and then we open it up at this event, the annual senior banquet. Come and eat some food, open your time capsule. Everyone is always both super excited and super ashamed about what they wrote. It's so wonderful. One of the best events of the year. Yeah, Maddie, what you got?
What made you guys choose to come to Colorado? What do you mean?
Well, that's where NORAD is, which is the North American Air Defense Base. That's the nuclear safe facility that's where the president goes in the event of a nuclear strike. And anyways, I follow Barack Obama on Twitter and asked him if we could save our stuff in that vault, and he said yes.
Oh yeah!
That's why Colorado. Did you make this one, Kurt?
No.
You found this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Anything else? What else we got? Great. Redwood Glen Workday. So if you're looking for some Caravan hours, this is a super fun way to do it. Who has done this every year they've been on Caravan? Yes, Ellie. Ellie's a Redwood Glen Workday All-Star.
I've only been there once for the actual camp.
And you've only been there once for the actual camp. We gotta fix that.
Twice.
You gotta come like 6 more times to catch up. Okay. Awesome. So, super fun day. We're gonna get you half of your service hours for Caravan. This is a great way to do it right here. And this is the camp that we do church camp at the end of the summer. And you guys should go to church camp too. This functions as both. It is. It's the bomb digging. If you ever wondered to yourself, yeah, I'm into fitness. Fitness whole piece. So good.
Oh my god.
Today I was at the Starbucks that's over by the Smart Final, and there was a lady with a dog just like this, and the dog had just had some kind of surgery and was so pitiful, and she was carrying it out. The dog looked so sad, and she was like patting it like this, and then when she got to her car, she couldn't figure out how to open the door to put the dog in. And so I had to like slam on the brakes and jump out and open the door, and we hugged. It was great. And it might be this dog. So the reason I mention that is because this is not a healthy lifestyle. And today I saw the results of it. That dog had to have surgery and be carried around. So, I don't know. Do you think there's anybody here that eats more pizza than you and me? Yeah, we painted on the wall.
I sure hope not.
Yeah, that's right. We got anything else here? Awesome. Okay, I'm going to invite my friend Kurt Miller up here to pray a prayer.
Pray a prayer. All right, everyone, pray with me.
Jesus, thank you so much for this time that we have here to gather in your name and to just be in your presence, God. Just bless this time and open up our eyes to the way that you are constantly at work in our lives. Amen. All right, everyone, let's stand up. This is the last clue of the year. And Flash. Flash clue. Songs that are kind of have been big for us this year in Flash and Clue. So this is the result of those. Feel free to jump around, hug someone, punch someone if you want, clap. All right, let's go. so much for what you have done for us, for the things that we can recognize, and for the things that we are just too blind to see. God, open up our eyes to those amazing ways that you are at work in our life. As this night continues, God, I just pray that we can feel your unbelievable, magnificent, and gigantic presence in all that we do. It's in your name. Amen. All right, guys. So we're done. All right, Flash Junior Hires. You guys are going to go downstairs with my good friend Emily Taylor.
I miss you already, Kurt.
I'll miss you too, Vaughn. Let's hang out on class plans. Yeah. Great. And all the high schoolers hug each other.
But I got to not go to calculus. Because you have to leave at like while school is happening. So we get there at 8:45. School is already started for like 10 minutes. But you have to wait for an hour to
Hello again, you beautiful people. I'm going to kindly invite you to find a seat for your bottom. Or it might be open to find a seat for your friend's bottom. That's really good. Did Clem survive?
If you look at the game,
You refuse to look? Yeah, it is like dropping a
My
baby.
mom says bottom too.
Your mom says bottom? Find a seat for your bottom, Gracie?
Find a bottom.
Is that something she said before?
Wait, sit your bottom.
Laura saved me a bottom seat.
Awesome. So,
Only one more.
so excited to be with you all once again. As you are no doubt aware, this is the night when the MRT, the Ministry Renewal Team, comes to pay us a visit. So, the commissioning of this Ministry Renewal Team is to chart the course of our church for the next 5 or 10 years, and they want to hear what you have to say. So we're going to do a couple different reflection activities and talk about what are the strengths of our church and what are the weaknesses and where are places we need to grow, what's awesome. But to lead us in this is our youth ministry representative on the Ministry Renewal Team, Lucas, and also Elsa Amboy, and they're going to come introduce themselves and lead away on this. So let's give them a hearty round of applause.
Hello, everyone. So as Matt said, I'm Lucas, if you don't know me, and I'm an elder for the church. And before my nails get distracting, yes, they're purple. They're for a show that I am, and then luckily nail polish doesn't have a gender, so moving on. Mild applause. So in talking about, as Matt said, the Ministry Renewal Team is tasked with basically coming up with our church's course for the next 5 to 10 years. And part of that work includes finding out who we are as a church now. And so we've been coming to groups all across campus. We were booked up until the end of May and have been like that since...
Across the world.
Across the world. We've been across the world. And we've been booked with groups in our church and across the world, as also said, from about March now until the end of May. And so we're meeting with all types of groups, and Flash and Clue is one of them. So we met with some Flash earlier and did some activities, so we're here to do the same sort of activities and reflections as you. And your input and answers right now will help determine our work and stuff like that. So you guys are given a really big role, which is, I think, one of the awesome things about being Presbyterian is that the members of the church are the ones who determine the course of the church. So before we get going, I thought that we would just talk about the question of what is church? What do we mean by this anyway? So I just kind of wanted to start with a brainstorm. What comes to your mind immediately when you think of the word church?
God.
Jesus, God.
People.
People.
That about sums it up.
Alright, we're good. More church. Wow, good job. Okay. No, but I'm curious, what else comes to mind? It could be like a random thing that...
Snakes.
Snakes?
Playing
Sunday.
We all know why.
Yeah, John? Friends and family. Friends and family.
Community.
Community.
Bread.
Fred.
Less people on their cell phones.
Wine. Wine. Supper, awesome.
Oh, less people on their cell phones.
Limited cell phone use, yeah. For some reason, in my mind, playgrounds come to mind when I think of churches. It's just like a lot of churches I've been to have
Ladies
playgrounds.
with fancy hats.
Fancy hat ladies, yeah.
Why am I fancy hat? Are you serious?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Coming to church for Sunday or Clue, and knowing that somewhere on the campus there are a bunch of other programs, I don't know what they're doing or who they are.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest things about our church. There's so much going on. Part of our work on the MRT was just figuring out, well, what the heck do we do when we had this huge list of like, I don't know, 70 or 80 groups to potentially contact, and that wasn't even all of them. But I think actually the first answers that came up, Jesus, God, and community were some of the most primary examples. And I think I'm going to share a little bit from Acts 2 for that, just because looking at the early church is a great way of learning about ourselves now. So I thought that we would look at Acts chapter 2, verses 42 to 47. All the believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship and to sharing in meals, including the Lord's Supper, and to prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them all, and the apostles performed many miraculous signs and wonders. And all the believers met together in one place and shared everything they had. They sold their property and possessions and shared the money with those in need. They worshipped together at the temple each day, met in homes for the Lord's Supper, and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their fellowship those who were being saved. I'm going to repeat this passage one more time slowly, and I want you to, maybe if you need to close your eyes, something like that, take a moment and find where God speaks to you, what phrase sticks out to you, and think about maybe why that stuck out to you. All the believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, and to fellowship, and to sharing in meals, including the Lord's Supper, and to prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them all, and the apostles performed many miraculous signs and wonders. And all the believers met together in one place and shared everything they had. They sold their property and possessions and shared the money with those in need. They worshipped together at the temple each day, met in homes for the Lord's Supper, and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their fellowship those who were being saved. What were some of those phrases that maybe stuck out to you in that second reading? Yeah?
I had a deep sense of awe, because I think when church is not just coming together, but it's like inviting the Holy Spirit around.
Yeah. What else came to mind? What stuck out to you? Yeah?
And each day the Lord added those who were being saved, because like church isn't just for those who are like rich old white men, basically. It's for everyone, and those who maybe even feel unworthy and undeserving of God's love. He still loves you and wants you to be a part of his life.
Yeah. Anything else? John?
They said they performed miraculous events.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, as a singular person, I'd be like really good stuff on as a group.
Yeah. They perform miraculous events together. I love that. So kind of been thinking about that, and we see this kind of almost an ideal laid out here for church. We're going to go through some questions and activities now. We just want you to listen to where God is pulling you and where your heart's being led to answer these questions about our church. It can be about our youth ministry. It can be about anything in our church, whatever group you're a part of. That means the larger congregation. That means in here as you're answering these questions. So for that, I'm going to invite up Elsa.
Great. I don't think I need this because I have a big teacher voice. I do this all day long. All right. I'm Elsa, and my kids are coming to Flash. Lizzie Wilcox and Jonathan Wilcox.
Woo!
Okay. So I know some of you from raising you through logos. Right? By yourself, you can work in pairs. You can work in small groups. You decide what is going to be best for you to process some of these questions. And we have 3 posters with the questions on them. And that one over there says, what do you like most about this church?
What do we do well?
And what does a church do well? So we're answering questions on that one about our church specifically. And then this one also says, what needs to improve or change? And that also is about, it's not about press. And then that one over there is, what do you dream for our church? And it might be here, church, here, like this location, or our church can be beyond these walls as well. So those dreams can involve here and beyond our walls. Okay, so we left Flash comments up there and then there's like a line that delineates for clue. So you will just, think about, there's no order to the questions. We've got pens and Sharpies and Post-its, so we're just going to go ahead and start passing these out. And just take 3 or 4, whatever you need. Pass them back. And then we'll be processing some of the responses. We have time to cover. Okay, so we'll have a little bit of sharing out time. And then regroup for that sharing.
Yeah, we'll regroup for that. It'll take about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes to do this.
Well, we wanted to come back and have a minute of sharing that we actually didn't do with Flash. In this time of reflection and stuff like that, we're really curious if someone wants to talk about what they wrote down for something specific and if it stood out to you, why it stood out to you, if it immediately came to mind, why. I know for me, I put on the what are your dreams for this church. I really want a young adult group to look forward to, like a really strong one. So I'm curious about what other people have in mind when they're writing these things down. Yeah, Libby.
That's my but for churches that he like to the church that he was described in the passage that he read.
Yeah.
People sacrifice things for each other and like share everything, whether it be like actual belongings or like feelings or their time. And that they would just be like 100% authentic.
What else came to mind?
I was actually thinking pretty much that exact same thing. Like the verse or whatever, they'll know we're Christians by our love. In this society today, a big thing is sacrificing time, like giving people your time, your attention, and all of that. That's gonna, like, someone's gonna notice that you're different.
Yeah.
I drifted more towards people, culture, and music, and all that jazz.
Awesome. Was that a dream or was that an improvement or kind of both?
It's kind of both.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I should have.
What about moving on from dreams? What do we know that we do well as a church? Yeah, for sure.
Get everyone involved in everything.
Yeah, huge involvement. Yeah.
I love how much we look to impact the community. Like we provide so many volunteer opportunities.
Yeah.
To
Totally. Yeah.
Definitely include children in Sunday services.
Yeah. Yeah. As an aside, I love that they don't just call us the future of the church, they also call us the church. It's like we're not just the future of it, they're a whole part of it. Yeah. Awesome. John.
Building a community in which people can build lasting relationships and lasting relationships with God.
Awesome. Yeah.
I didn't write this, but like how much youth can be a part of the congregation and they aren't looked down upon because they're younger. I mean, like you are.
Write it down.
I'm a Peter for a reason. But like you being doing this thing, but like how people can really be a part of
Yeah.
bigger deals.
Anything else? Yeah.
I think a clue is a very happy occasion for everyone.
Yeah, we do joy well. It's kind of like how.
Yeah, it's very, it's good.
Mark.
I feel like we're a friendly place, and if you're going to a church service or a youth group or whatever, and you come through the door and you don't know anyone, someone is going to say, "Hi, what's your name?"
Yeah.
I don't actually go to the actual church or mass here, but the comparisons to the church I do go to, this is a much more like open and accepting place, regardless of like anything, your race or gender or sexuality. Like it doesn't matter. This place is a lot more accepting than a lot of other church communities.
Kind of moving. It's kind of a dramatic shift, but I was wondering what some people wrote down for what do we need to improve or change. Yeah, Alex.
I don't know if you guys are into it, but what I put is, I know at my church that I usually go to, we have like short mission trips, like weekend mission trips that we go on, actually through Sierra Service Project, and it's just for a weekend, but it has like the same in-depth, like helping people and like all the devotionals and time with God.
a sense of reverence. Like, it's good that we can laugh in church during the service and whatever, but coming before God, there are some times when it's maybe not appropriate to laugh.
Yeah.
A sense of our place in the world as part of a big Christian community. Like, we're just one of the churches in Sunnyvale, one of the churches in the whole wide region. Be conscious that we're part of something bigger. And with that, a sense that we have a bigger mission. Like, you don't just come here on Sunday. You come here and you're part of a bigger mission.
Yeah. I think that last part is kind of getting at the church isn't just the worship services on Sunday. We're a group of people trying to follow God, and we're part of this huge mission. Yeah. Anything else that people wrote down for the improving or changing? Yeah.
Kind of really being, it's like they do a good job of it normally, but like really being especially welcoming to minority groups and working, kind of making an effort to diversify the congregation and like race and sexuality, but maybe also race areas because there's a lot of like.
Any last thoughts for that one? Awesome. So as we've, the Ministry Renewal Team came out of a lot of conversations in session about, well, before Steve left, he took us through a series of what we have part of session, our meetings, called Study, which is session, by the way, if I'm just doing Presbyterian speak, is where all the elders of the church, the people who are elected to lead, come and meet and vote on things and stuff like that. So in each session meeting, we have a study time where we learn about something. And Steve, before he left, was working on a series about the fate of millennials and what the church is going to look like in the 21st century. And the church larger, not just our church. And I think, as many people probably know, the church worldwide, or nationwide for us, is going through a harder time. We're kind of in a system of religion and church that doesn't exactly fit the 21st century, and we see evidence of this by people leaving the church really, really frequently. So we kind of went through this whole process, and what the MRT is really doing is trying to figure out, how are we going to respond to these issues? How are we going to do this? Not only what are we going to do, but who are we going to be? And that's a really tough question to differentiate between things that we have to do or change, but also who are we called to be? So I'm wondering, maybe as I think a fourth question, who do you think we're called to be as a church? Kind of aside from our programs, aside from the things that we do, who are we and who are we called to be? Yeah.
A church that really makes a difference in the community and works, makes an effort to like do things. Liking on the word mission.
Sure.
Yeah, and mission and
outreach of it.
Outreach. That.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, you say.
I think, I think as well as the outreach, I think as a as concerning to the people who leave, I think members of the church, it's their responsibility to when they are with other people, that they are very respectful and very gracious, and I think also when bringing new people in, maybe not just emphasize like the positivity and the good spirit of the church, that and then after reeling them in with like the good spirit and positivity, maybe then people will understand, or like will get into the more religious aspects of it.
Libby.
What comes to mind is the knelling prayer that we used to do before Flash and Clue, especially where it says like reaching out in love and taking risks. Because I feel like those are like two of the main things that like Jesus left the world with, and they're two of the hardest things to do, especially in like a giant group of people. Yeah, those are quite.
Any other thoughts about who we're called to be? Great. Well, I'm going to invite Elsa to pray out our time, and I just wanted to say thank you for letting us come here and do this work. It's really awesome to be able to go to a youth group who can do this and is mature enough to do this, because I don't think that everyone is, and so we're really grateful that you guys decided to help us out, because you're doing us a favor. All right, Elsa.
Yeah.
giant chain of green strips. And they're about what your dreams are, what you...
All right, let's say we have 60 more seconds to finalize your green strip.
We're gonna hand them to me on our way out because...
Yeah, you know what? First, let's give these people a round of applause. I also want to say thanks to you guys and all the MRT people because I know that you've been to like 50 of these things, and that it is a huge time commitment to go to all these things and talk to all these people, so thank you for that. Also, let's close out this awesome year of Clue by going downstairs and playing 20 remaining minutes of